3387N564L as in Lima. This is the rear elevation of this insured's roofing system. Allstate State Farm has open coverage on three shingles on the rear slope, even though there's more than 3 wind damage shingles up here. There's hail. There's 1, 2, 3. Before State Farm tries to say this is their thermal cracking or whatnot, let me show you. That's textbook wind damage. There's creasing. There's at the shingle where that's been flapping in the wind. The strip adhesive is not intact anymore. Same with this one. Textbook wind damage. Look at the creasing in the shingle. 1, 2, 3. It's a hail hit. That's more so thermal cracking. This is a wind damage shingle we're going to attempt to repair. That's 4 shingles. There is another one right here, which is 5. Textbook wind damage, thermal cracking. Thermal cracking. Hail. 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 So coverage should at least be reopened for those, in addition to what we already have open, as there has been a lot missed on this initial inspection. Before we begin here, we're going to attempt to repair this shingle here. Let's see. One, I believe. This is a shingle here. So boom, boom. This is a shingle here. Boom, boom. This is a shingle here. I'm gonna label this shingle A. I'll label this shingle B. Label this one C. Okay. Let's get to work. We're gonna have to remove. We have to unadhere this shingle, or unadhere this shingle, and this shingle at least. Please note how I'm very gentle, and we're also using a snake. Granule loss on these shingles. This one actually has a hail hit. Those are unadhered. Also want to mention about R904.1 before we begin. remove this shingle. In the process, there's been a lot of granule loss. There's been creasing created at this shingle here. There's been creasing at this, on this tab here. There's also been creasing on this tab here. This shingle has suffered severe granule loss. There has been mat transfer. Let me go ahead and get this. Okay, so in the process so far, we haven't even installed this shingle back. This shingle has been damaged. You can see creasing right there. This shingle has, that tab has creasing. There's been excessive granule loss. There has been, oh shoot. So this right here, you can see fiberglass, and that is mat transfer. That shingle has also ripped in the process, so at least the shingle C needs to be replaced now. This shingle has suffered severe granule loss in the process. This shingle is now creased. As you can see it flexing there, and there's granule loss, which will be even more exposed on the next rain. This one too has been creased. We're going to attempt to reinstall this shingle now. Also, please note that by installation, by requirements of shingle manufacturers, we're not allowed to use we're not allowed to use shingles that have been penetrated with nail holes. This shingle here has nails penetrated right here on the top row. So this shingle needs to be replaced technically by the manufacturer. We're not supposed to use the shingle and not supposed to re-penetrate it. So here we go, we're going to attempt to reinstall this shingle here. I want you to take note of where these original nail holes are, way up here on the top. By building code R904.1, we must install shingles to manufacturer installation instruction. I want to explain. So, State Farm doesn't like us to go over 45 degrees. However, in order to abide by 904.1 and the manufacturer's installation instruction, we must go over 45 degrees in most instances. We will attempt not to and minimize the amount of how much we have to lift the shingle. But if you look at the diagram I have attached to this email, you will see that they require us to put in a shingle, or when we put the nail in, it needs to go straight into the roofing system like that. In order to do that, we have to put the shingle straight up, or not the shingle, we have to put the nail straight up like that. And then regardless if we're using a hand tool or an air tool, in this case we're using a hand tool, we will have to be able to hit the head of the nail head on and square, which we can't do if the shingle is covering that, So I'll try not to, and then same with an air tool. You have to get an air tool, go straight in to get the nail how it's supposed to go in. Because if we try not to lift the shingle, if we try to stay under 45 degrees, we'll be inserting the nail like that, which isn't abiding by R904.1 or the manufacturer's installation instruction. So, and again, this shingle's already failed. This shingle is not repairable. So hypothetically speaking, like the nail's like right here. I mean, in order for me to hit it, you gotta get under the shingle. It's just, there's no way. I mean, if you guys have a special way that you can magically hit this thing without doing it, please feel free to share, and I'll start doing that. But until then, also please note, as I'm hitting the nail, excuse me, you can hear excessive granule loss coming off the surrounding shingles, which is further compromising the integrity of the surrounding shingles and doesn't get our insured back to pre-loss condition. So here, you can see the nail needs to go like that. You gotta The shingle has failed. The shingle is not repairable. In the process of attempting to repair this shingle, now this was the original damaged shingle. As you can see, shingle labeled B has suffered creasing and granule loss, as you can see there. So it's now compromised the integrity of that shingle. This shingle is now creased as well and has suffered severe granule loss. There has been you can see pieces of fiberglass, which indicates mat transfer There's hole penetrations there that weren't there, obviously. All right, the shingle has failed. Full roof placement is warranted.